If you're 60 years old and you have $500,000 saved, can you retire? The answer is maybe, but the number in your account is just part of the story. I've seen people with $500,000 who were in pretty good shape, and I've seen people with $500,000 who still had major gaps in their plan. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through questions that I would ask before you know if retirement is realistic. And make sure that you stay until the end because I'm gonna show you why two people can both be 60, both have $500,000 saved, but have completely different retirement outcomes. Now, this video is for you if you're within a few years of retirement, if you've saved money, but you're still wondering, is it actually enough? It's also for you if you have a pension, drop, deferred comp, Social Security decisions, retirement account decisions coming up, and you're trying to see how does it all fit together. Because retirement planning is not just about asking, how much do I have saved? It's about asking, how does everything fit together? Now, one quick note before we jump in, comments are turned off on this video for compliance reasons. So if this video is helpful, the best way to let me know is by hitting the like button. This also helps YouTube show this video to more people who are trying to make smart retirement decisions. And if you want retirement planning explained in plain English, make sure you subscribe to the channel. For this example today, let's say you're 60 years old and you have $500,000 saved in retirement accounts and you'd like to retire. Maybe you have a pension, maybe you don't. Maybe you're thinking, hey, I'm gonna wait on Social Security to add that income in later so I get more from Social Security. Now, of course, you know, I'm not giving you personalized financial advice today, but this is a framework that you can use to think through the bigger question of, am I ready to retire? So as I go through these questions, think about your own situation and can you answer each one of these clearly today? So the first question I would ask is, how much income do you actually need in retirement? This is where retirement planning has to start, not with the account balance, not with an investment statement, not with some rule of thumb. It starts with your lifestyle. What does it cost for you to live each month? Right? What are your fixed expenses? Do you have a mortgage? Do you have car payments? Are you carrying credit card debt? How much do you spend on groceries, utilities, insurance, travel, hobbies, family, everything else that makes your life feel like your life? And just as important, think about what expenses are going to go away when you retire. Maybe you're not going to be saving as much money as you are today. Your payroll taxes are going to change. You're not going to be paying into Social Security and Medicare. You may have other work expenses that go down, and you also may have other expenses that go up, right? Travel, spending more on healthcare. Maybe you want to help your children, your grandchildren. Maybe you have home repairs. And here's a simple way to think about through this, right? If you need $400,000 a month in retirement, $500,000 tells one story. But if you need $800,000 a month, it tells a completely different story. Same savings, completely different retirement picture. That's why the account balance doesn't answer the retirement question, your spending does. The second question is, what guaranteed income will you have in retirement? Now, this is a huge part of your plan. Guaranteed income can include Social Security, a pension, an annuity. And the more of your basic living expenses that are covered by guaranteed income, that's less pressure on your investment accounts, on your retirement accounts. So if you're watching this and you have a pension, ask yourself, will that pension cover my basic living expenses, or will your savings need to fill some gaps? So for example, if your basic living expenses are $5,000 a month, and eventually your pension and your Social Security are gonna cover most of that, then that $500,000 can now be used for flexibility, travel, emergencies, inflation, extra spending, healthcare surprises. But if you don't have a pension, and now that $500,000 has to create more of your monthly income, well, this is a completely different situation. This is why two people can have the same amount saved and have two completely different retirement incomes. One person may have a strong pension, the other person may have no pension. One person may have low expenses, the other may still have a mortgage, debt that they're paying off, larger lifestyle needs. Same $500,000, completely different retirement picture. The third question is, what happens between age 60 and Social Security? Because this is one of the biggest issues with retiring at 60. Because if you retire at 60, you're now going to have several years of a gap before Social Security and Medicare kick in. Social Security can start as early as age 62, but that doesn't mean it's the best time to take it. So you might be wondering, April, shouldn't I take Social Security at 62 so I don't have to pull from my other savings? Maybe, but that decision needs to be tested. If you retire at 60, you need to know how you're going to bridge the gap for income. Are you going to pull from retirement accounts? Do you have savings built up? Are you going to work part-time? Now, none of these answers are right or wrong, but they need to be planned. And then think about healthcare. Medicare doesn't start till age 65. So if you're going to retire at 60, now we need to cover healthcare for 5 years. And this can be a major cost. It can put more pressure on your savings early in your retirement years. One of the biggest risks of retiring at age 60 isn't always the entire retirement. Sometimes it's the bridge. Sometimes it's just this gap between when Social Security starts and when Medicare starts. The gap between the day your paycheck stops and your other income begins. And this gap needs to be tested before you retire. Now, the fourth question is, where is the $500,000 saved? Because this can trip people up, because $500,000 is not always really $500,000. If all of that money is in a traditional IRA, a 401k, a deferred comp account, then taxes still have to be paid. Now, if part of that's in a Roth IRA, this may give you more tax flexibility. If part is in a brokerage account, that's also going to be taxed differently. That's why tax diversification means so much. It's not just how much do you have saved, it's where do we have it saved at. Because every dollar in those pre-tax retirement accounts may mean I have less flexibility later, right? This can affect our taxes, our withdrawal strategy, our Medicare premiums later, and our overall retirement income plan. The fifth question is, how is this money invested? Now, this is very important. So if you tuned out, come back to me. This investment strategy, because the investment strategy that's helped you build wealth, this may not be the same strategy that's going to help you once you start taking income. So when you're working and you're saving, the goal is going to be growth. But when you retire, this account may now need to do several things at once, right? Provide income. It might need to, some of it stay invested for long-term growth. Some of it may need to stay liquid for emergencies or short-term needs. This is where I like to think in buckets, right? We're going to need an income bucket, a growth bucket, and a liquid bucket. Every dollar needs a job. And if the entire account is invested too aggressively, you could be exposed to more risk than you really need or want. But if the account's too conservative, then you may not keep up with inflation over a long retirement. So the goal here is not to just invest the money. The goal is to position the money around your retirement income plan. Now, the sixth question is, how long does this money need to last? Because if you retire at age 60, your retirement could last 30 years or more. And that's a long time. A lot can happen in 30 years. Think about it. Inflation is going to go up. Markets are going to go up and down. We know healthcare costs are going to rise. You may have a spouse pass away. Taxes may change. You may have long-term care issues that come up, major home repairs, right? So this goal here is not just to retire, it's to stay retired. And that's the part sometimes people overlook, right? This plan has to work not only today at age 60, but it needs to work at 70, 80, and 90. And that's why I don't like making retirement decisions just around account balance. Of course, it is important, but we have to answer the deeper question. And the deeper question is, can this money support the life you want for as long as you need it, while accounting for taxes, healthcare, inflation, unexpected expenses? Now that is the real retirement question. Let me give you an example. Let's say your basic living expenses are $5,000 a month, and you have a pension that's $3,000 a month, and eventually your Social Security might provide another $2,200. Well, once Social Security starts, your guaranteed income is now going to cover most of your basic living expenses. So in this situation, that $500,000 is not going to have to cover your entire retirement. We might only be using it really to bridge that gap, provide flexibility, cover discretionary expenses, and help with future needs. Now, compare that to someone else who has same age, same $500,000 saved, but no pension, higher expenses. And plus, what if all that money's in a taxable retirement account? And they need this account balance to provide most of their monthly income. This is a totally different situation. Same age, same savings balance, very different outcome. That's why I always say retirement needs to be rehearsed before you jump. You want to test the numbers. You want to see the income. You want to understand taxes. You want to know what happens if the market drops. What happens if a spouse passes away? What happens if healthcare is higher than expected? Because retirement planning is not about guessing. It's about making thoughtful decisions before the paycheck stops. So, can you retire at 60 with $500,000 saved? Maybe. But before making that decision, you need to answer these 6 questions. How much income do you actually need in retirement? How much guaranteed income will you have? How will you bridge the gap from retiring at 60 to taking Social Security to being on Medicare? Where is your money saved? How is it invested? And how long do you need it to last? If you can answer these questions clearly, you're going to have a much better sense of whether retirement feels realistic. But if you cannot answer those questions, it doesn't mean you can't retire. It just means you need more clarity before you make this major decision. If this video was helpful, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want more videos just like this, where I walk through real retirement planning questions, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Now, if you're a few years away from retirement, this is exactly the kind of decisions that we help our clients think through. You can use the links below to request our retirement checklist or to request our intake form to schedule a retirement review. And if you're an FRS member, I'd recommend watching the next video on how your pension, drop, deferred comp, Social Security, and savings all fit together. Because retirement is not one decision. It's a series of decisions that need to work together. See you next time. Bye now.